Hello everybody, and welcome to History Bite number 42, dated September 17th, 2020. I'm Walter, your mobile historian and blue-collar scholar. This History Bite is entitled The 22nd Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. From Presidents Washington down to Hoover, numbers 1 through 31 respectively, no person served more than 2 terms as President of the United States. Many served 2 terms, many served 1 term. Some didn't make it through a full term, but nonetheless, none served more than 2 terms in office. That was the result of the unofficial 2-term rule that was established in 1796 when President Washington refused to run for a 3rd term as president, although he could have very easily won one, in my humble opinion. That tradition lasted until 1940, when incumbent Democratic President Franklin D. Roosevelt, number 32, was elected to an unprecedented 3rd term in office. In 1944, he was elected to an unprecedented 4th term in office. Mr. Roosevelt died on the 12th of April, 1945, after only a few months into his 4th term. Thus, Franklin D. Roosevelt served as President of the United States from March 4th, 1933 to April 12th, 1945. 12 years, longer than any other person in American history, almost for an entire generation, okay? Republicans were hardly sad to see him go, and you know, they were greatly inspired by their victories in the 1946 congressional elections. So much so, in fact, that they conceived a constitutional mechanism to prevent any other president from ever again serving as long as FDR. The fruit of that anger and vengeance would become the 22nd Amendment to the United States Constitution. That amendment would pass the Congress in 1947, and it was given a 7-year ratification deadline. 'Tis no matter, however, as the amendment was ratified by the required amount of states in 1951. Specifically, the 22nd Amendment to the Constitution prohibited forevermore anyone from being elected president more than twice. Additionally, it also prohibited anyone serving as president for more than 2 years of a term in which someone else was elected president from being elected more than once. The 22nd Amendment also exempted the incumbent president from its terms, thus President Harry S. Truman, all right? So President Harry Truman, number 33, was the last president of the United States who could constitutionally run for as many terms in office as he so chose, okay? Thus, let me recap real quick for you. The 22nd Amendment to the Constitution specifically prohibits anyone from being elected President of the United States more than twice. Additionally, it prohibits anyone who is currently serving as President who has served more than 2 years of a term for which someone else was elected President from being elected more than once, okay? Thus, the first person to be affected by the terms of the 22nd Amendment was President Dwight D. Eisenhower, number 34. President Eisenhower was a very popular guy. He was elected to 2 terms in office, and he was so popular, in fact, that many in the Republican Party wished that he could have run for a 3rd term in office. Thus, President Eisenhower was effectively the first casualty of the 22nd Amendment, as he was such a popular and arguably pretty decent president that many wished he could run again. But alas, the 22nd Amendment, that mighty, mighty sword for which the Republicans so adamantly wanted to put in the Constitution, was already working against them, okay? So you could say they had buyer's remorse pretty darn quickly. And so the 22nd Amendment has thus affected every president from Eisenhower forward, okay? There has been a small movement by some to repeal the 22nd Amendment, and notable opponent of it was President Reagan, who suggested towards the end of his 2 terms in office, although he didn't think it should be applicable to him, that the 22nd Amendment should be repealed, okay? It has basically gone nowhere, and it shouldn't, as the 22nd Amendment serves as a powerful shield against anyone theoretically staying in the presidency too long, okay? It was a very good addition to the Constitution, in my humble opinion, as I would rather see a good president go too soon than a terrible one stay too long. And perhaps the Republicans might have learned their lesson with the 22nd Amendment, although it has affected Democrats just as bad, but the Republicans were the ones who wanted it and essentially put it out there. Perhaps they have learned that it does not pay to cut off your nose to spite your face. Thank you so much for listening to this History Bite. If you have any questions, comments, controversies, put them down below. I'll be happy to answer them. Please continue to listen to my History Bites. I'm thankful for all of you who do listen to them. Take care, stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you at the next one. Have a good day.